With me today is Wellgreen Platinum President and CEO Greg Johnson. Wellgreen trades on the Toronto Stock Exchange under the symbol WG and on the OTCQX under the symbol WGPLF. Greg, a big year for the company, probably a lot of highlights to go over. Certainly a good fundraising year. Maybe a status update on where the company's at right now and what you've been working on.
Yeah, it's been a really busy 2 years for the company. We've come a long ways in terms of where we're at. We've managed to raise $18.6 million in 2014. Makes Wellgreen one of the top 2% of junior miners, with only about 26 companies raising more than $10 million in the year. The reason we've been able to raise that money is we've got a really exciting project. We've through our drilling, which with the completion of this year's work is about 55,000 meters of new drilling that we put into the deposit, we've grown our resource fivefold in the measured and indicated category, from under 1 million ounces to over 5 million ounces. And we've added, with the discovery in the Far East, another 6 million ounces to our total inferred material, bringing that number up to almost 14 million ounces of inferred. And along with that comes a very significant copper and nickel credit, which is quite significant as well. Those numbers combined are going to lead towards Wellgreen being, a very robust project, and are fundamental to us updating our preliminary economic assessment. Last one was done in 2012, and this one will be completed by the end of this year. So we're working hard right to the end of the year, and we will look to probably announce that early next year.
Obviously, the financing was significant. What else was pretty big in 14? I know you're working on quite a bit over there.
Yeah, we had a number of key areas that we focus in. The two core areas were increasing the confidence in our resource, particularly to support this new updated engineering assessment. So with the doubling of the resource this year, that was a huge accomplishment. We also had a priority to focus on our assessment of the metallurgical recoveries. As typically in an early stage project, you've only got a handful of samples that your tests are based on, and now we've done an extensive review, literally hundreds of tests on various samples from the deposit, and have a much higher degree of confidence. And that resulted in about a 35% increase in our platinum recovery, about a 13% increase in our nickel, about 9% across the board. So, huge accomplishment there. And then on the market side of things, are just upgraded to the TSX, so we're now a senior board listed company. So we're pretty proud of that, and we're starting to see some good awareness with new research coverage from a number of larger firms, both in the U.S. and in Canada, and next year is looking quite bright for the company.
Yeah, speaking of next year, what's on tap? What's the game plan? Maybe first quarter, mid-year?
Well, it's really going to be an acceleration of activities. The great benefit we have at Wellgreen is that we're right next to a paved highway, so we don't need to rely on helicopters and other expensive access. So we are able to field a substantial program at modest costs. We'll be looking to move into the pre-feasibility studies next year. Likely have a pretty substantial program, both drilling, engineering, and metallurgy, so there should be updates coming all through the year. And we expect that this update on the engineering with a new concept, looking at lower capital project and higher grade material, is going to be well received by the market.
Well, speaking of next year, what can we expect from the company for 2015?
Yeah, I think the key is it has been a tough couple of 3 years, but if we look back at history, last 30 years, the length of this correction is one of the longest. If history is any guide, we typically see triple-digit bounces in this sector once you turn the corner into a more positive part of the cycle. Wellgreen has managed to perform well even in this distressed market period. I think we're one of the top performers in 2014, up about 30% for the year. And I think with the opportunities we see with the new studies and with the funding and interest from investors, that next year, 2015, should be an even more exciting one for the company.
Thanks for the update, Greg. Look forward to tracking your success in 15.
Thank you very much.